This is America. This is the land of the free and the home of the brave. I too sing America, Mr. Speaker. America, the light on the hill, the standard, the example, a country built on democracy and inclusion. America, a country of men and women willing to give their lives to ensure the rights of all people to elect their leadership. But some right here in America are now doing all they can to restrict the ability for us to do the same. They are chipping away at the very foundation upon which all of our rights rest, and that is the right to vote. Yet 31 American states have begun limiting the rights of their citizens to participate in our democracy's most important function, and that is voting. If things remain as they are today, Mr. Speaker, by the 2012 election, 11% or 21 million American voters may not be allowed to cast their ballot. 25% of them will be African American, and 18% of them will be our nation's elderly. This is a national shame. And the fact that this was a coordinated effort is a national scandal. Recently, the Pennsylvania House Majority Leader, Mike Teresi, told the state's Republican Committee, and I quote, "Voter ID, which is going to allow Governor Romney to win the state of Pennsylvania, done." They can't win without cheating? Have they no shame? Mr. Teresi and others are blatantly and boldly attempting to encumber the rights of the American people. They do not want a level playing field. A trend that began in just a few states like Pennsylvania have now sparked a wildfire. In Texas, you can face prosecution for registering voters. 5 states, Alabama, South Carolina, Texas, Kansas, and Wisconsin, all have passed laws requiring voters to produce a government-issued ID before casting a ballot. In Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, and West Virginia, early voting and absentee voting have been cut short. Even in my home state of Ohio, we are still fighting. We are fighting restrictive actions taken by our state legislature. Time and time again, Ohio Republicans have tried everything in the book to keep voters away from the polls. Ohio's current legislation will keep as many as 54,000 legitimate voters in my district alone from voting. It could restrict 4% of all voters in our county from voting, the county with the highest percentage of minorities. I'm quite a sports fan, and in sports, if somebody wants to change the outcome of a game, they do something that they call point shaving. And what this is point shaving. If we can shave off enough points in every state, even if it's 1 or 2 points, this election can be up in the air. It's point shaving. Sometimes I think it is time for America to be angry. Sometimes someone needs to know we won't lay down without a fight. We won't just throw in the towel in defeat. If we fail to act, if we ignore the vicious attack on the right to vote, if we don't do what we need to do to educate voters and fight these suppressive laws, it will have an effect in November and many years beyond. If we stand idly by, how many voters will be disenfranchised due to changes in voting rules? If we sit on the sidelines, how many people will come to the polls with a utility bill and be turned away because they need a government-issued ID? If we say nothing, how many people will be erroneously purged from the county voter rolls? And in my county, that's many people. If we do nothing, how many people will be denied the opportunity to register to vote because community and religious groups can no longer hold voter registration drives? In the past year, more states have passed more laws punishing more voters out of the ballot box than any time since the rise of Jim Crow. Join my colleagues and me. Get angry, America. The time for action is now.